I believe that you run from love. I believe that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is quite possibly the same personality type as Nick Cannon and Cam Newton. I believe that all three of you are serial monogamous with narcissistic tendencies.
Hey guys, so look, there are no elevators to success. Success looks like this. You walk up the stairs, you walk up the mountain, you continue to walk up the mountain, everything falls, you start all over again.
Success is never easy, and many people believe it takes years of hard work and proper qualifications to earn respect. However, Cheyenne Bryant built a reputation as a doctor even though critics claim she did not have the degrees needed to support that title. According to the claims, anyone who questioned her qualifications online was quickly dismissed or ignored. Later, more people began accusing her of giving unsafe advice to thousands of Black women while making money from her services. Comedian D.L. Hughley has openly called her a fraud, saying he believed from the beginning that she fooled people with convincing stories that allowed her to avoid serious scrutiny for a long time.
I can't believe that people are asking to see everybody. When you go to a doctor's office or somebody, if they're working with your mind or your body, if they're a mechanic, they show you on the wall, they see you.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not gonna walk in somebody and they want to deride, nigga. If you like, so I think, but I do think it's disingenuous to believe that they ask people if you're dealing with somebody's mind, if you're dealing with somebody's physical well-being, you should be trained for it.
Many people believe it is surprising that Cheyenne Bryant was able to build such a strong reputation despite growing criticism about her credibility. Critics claim that much of what she promoted did not match her own actions. A few weeks ago, she appeared on the Joe Budden podcast, where she discussed her relationship and other personal topics. During the conversation, she unexpectedly shared details about her career, which led to even more questions and renewed public attention.
A therapist, I started off as a marriage, family, and child therapist about 18 years ago. Before I obtained my doctorate degree in counseling psychology. Once I became a doctor of psychology, I transitioned from a therapist to a psychology expert in private practice. And so I no longer practice under a license. I'm in private practice.
You're making all the money now.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what people don't understand, right? So just to educate some folks a little bit, a license is really only needed so you can bill insurance. And let me go a step further. Majority of people who know that in order to bill insurance as a therapist or a physician or a psychologist, psychiatrist, you have to diagnose.
Okay.
Most people don't want to have a diagnosis on their record. So what do they rather do?
Many people saw Cheyenne Bryant's latest comments as a major change from what she had previously claimed. Over the last 2 years, she became very popular online, introducing herself as a doctor of psychology and building a large following. She often said that she had 6 degrees, including 3 doctorates and a master's degree. Her growing popularity made many people trust her advice, and she built a reputation as someone who could help others through difficult situations. She even gained enough recognition to become the president of an NAACP branch. As more people started looking into her background, questions began to grow. Critics wondered whether she had the proper qualifications to work as a therapist or give professional advice if she did not have the required license. Some people also questioned why she suddenly decided to explain her educational history. They speculated that she may have spoken out because she believed someone else was about to reveal the information first. In an effort to respond to the criticism, Cheyenne appeared on The Breakfast Club and addressed the concerns. She said that she earned her doctorate from Argosy University, a school that later closed after filing for bankruptcy. According to her explanation, the school's closure made it difficult to access her academic records. She also claimed that requesting a refund would cancel the credits she had earned during the program.
I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Why I contact the third party? That third party only holds records for 2 years.
Many critics believe the timing of Cheyenne Bryant's explanation raised even more questions. According to them, she only spoke about her education after people began challenging her credentials. She said she attended Argosy University, a school that later closed, leading some to believe that verifying her claims would be difficult. However, critics argue that this explanation does not fully answer the concerns. They point out that records from Argosy University are reportedly still available through online archives and transcript services such as Parchment. Despite those claims, they say they were unable to find evidence of her alleged doctorate. The questions did not stop there. Many people believe earning a doctorate is a major achievement, especially because it often represents years of hard work and dedication. They argue that most graduates proudly celebrate milestones like graduation ceremonies, photos, or published academic work. Because of this, critics have asked why there are no graduation pictures, no publicly available dissertation, and no information about the professors who supervised or reviewed her research. At the same time, some supporters have defended Cheyenne. They argue that a person can still have valuable knowledge and help others without holding a doctorate. Others disagree, saying the real issue is whether she accurately represented her qualifications. They also believe the public played a role in building her popularity by trusting and promoting her without asking many questions.
Why are you all so obsessed about Cheyenne Bryant? Like, okay, she lied. I can see if she lied and harmed people. She was on my podcast and she was brilliant. We live in a world where we act like credentials is what determines somebody's effectiveness across the board. And in some respects, it is absolutely necessary. And in her respect, it actually wasn't necessary for her to do the work that she does. That being said, I just don't care. She was on my podcast and she was incredible. I don't care. There are also people who call themselves doctor when they get an honorary doctorate, and I don't think that's much different. Maya Angelou was walking around calling herself Dr. Maya Angelou.
Y'all made her. You made her. You made her who she is. All her millions of followers, her #1 book, selling book, her trips on her yacht and all of that. You all pay for that.
DL Hughley has made it clear that he does not believe Cheyenne Bryant's explanations. He argues that many of the stories she has shared about her life have been challenged or disproved over time. Despite the criticism, Cheyenne recently appeared on another podcast and continued talking about her early accomplishments. She claimed that she bought her first home at just 19 years old, owned 3 retail stores on Melrose, and even launched her own handbag brand called Cheyenne Nicole Bags. These statements have added to the ongoing debate, with critics questioning whether all of her claims are accurate.
I was winning the bread. I was paying the majority of the bills, and I was in school with 26 units a semester. I was running an entire mobile legal company that I owned. So I was moving and shaking. And
at 21 years old, you was doing that?
At 21, I bought my first house at 19 years old.
What?
Bought my
in
first
LA?
house at 19 in the city of Long Beach, in North Long Beach.
Let's go.
I bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and then built a whole loft in the backyard and rented the whole thing out and moved in with him. Closer to my retail store that I had. I had 3 retail stores on Melrose. You know Melrose?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 retail stores. I was actually, I have to brag about this, y'all. I was the first, because I loved it.
Yes.
I was the first and youngest Black woman to ever own a store on Melrose.
And as more people began looking into Cheyenne Bryant's background, they started asking for proof to support the many claims she had made over the years. According to her own stories, she was running a successful business, paying bills, carrying a heavy college course load of 26 credit hours, owning a house, and managing rental property as a landlord, all while she was only between 19 and 21 years old. Many people found these claims difficult to believe because anyone who has attended college full-time or operated a business knows how demanding each responsibility can be on its own. Trying to do all of those things at the same time seemed unrealistic to many critics. Internet researchers also searched for evidence of the business ventures she described. She claimed to have owned a handbag brand called Cheyenne Nicole Bags and to have operated 3 retail stores on Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles. Since Melrose is one of the city's most famous shopping districts, especially during the early 2000s, critics argued that someone with such accomplishments would likely have left behind advertisements, news articles, business listings, photographs, or other public records. However, they said they could not find any clear evidence connecting her to those businesses. The questions continued when people looked into her education. Critics claim that the only publicly identifiable degree connected to Cheyenne is in apparel and fashion from California State University, Northridge. They argue that this does not match her public statements about earning psychology and Pan-African Studies degrees from the same university. They also point out that she has not publicly provided copies of her degrees, official transcripts, dissertation, or documentation supporting the businesses she described. In response, Cheyenne has reportedly said that she does not feel obligated to prove anything to anyone. This response has not satisfied many of her critics. Comedian D.L. Hughley has argued that Cheyenne became one of the most recognizable voices in the online mental health space, while other qualified Black therapists received far less attention. According to him, she often appeared on popular podcasts where hosts rarely challenged her credentials or asked detailed questions about her background. Because she spoke confidently on topics such as relationships, gender, trauma, and personal growth, many viewers accepted her advice without closely examining her qualifications. Critics also believe her popularity was helped by her strong media presence and confident communication style. They argue that her appearance and ability to speak with confidence made it easier for audiences to trust her. As her following grew, more people treated her as an expert and shared her content across social media. The controversy goes beyond her personal story. Cheyenne has encouraged people to be honest with themselves, accept responsibility for their actions, and work through emotional struggles. She regularly speaks to audiences dealing with trauma, narcissism, relationship problems, and mental health challenges. Because of that, critics argue that honesty and transparency are especially important for someone giving guidance in these sensitive areas. They believe that if the allegations about her background are true, continuing to defend questionable claims instead of addressing them openly could damage public trust. Cheyenne has also explained that she intentionally keeps the prices for many of her services affordable so that people with limited incomes can receive support, particularly those who feel uncomfortable with traditional mental health institutions. While some supporters appreciate that approach, critics argue that it also creates a greater responsibility to be completely truthful about professional qualifications. They believe that people seeking help deserve clear and accurate information before deciding who to trust with deeply personal issues.
Okay.
Most people don't want to have a diagnosis on their record. So what do they rather do? Pay out of pocket.
That's what I
And
do.
so when I realized that, I thought, well, okay, it may create a gap within our community, our Black community, who can't afford health care or afford mental health services. But it also is a way that, you know, as a therapist, two things: you can obviously make what you deserve, because therapy is real. We're giving everything we have in there, and we're unpacking shit, and we're helping you process through things. So it's not us sitting there, well, if you're an effective therapist, saying, tell me more.
Critics have argued that Cheyenne Bryant's business model resembles a multi-level marketing operation rather than a traditional mental health practice. They believe this is especially concerning because many people are paying for advice while dealing with serious emotional challenges. One former client shared that she contacted Cheyenne after her regular therapist was unavailable. She was specifically looking for a Black woman therapist because she had enjoyed Cheyenne's online content. However, she said the session did not feel like professional therapy. According to her, there were no intake forms, no questions about her background, and very little focus on understanding her personal struggles. Instead, much of the conversation centered on Cheyenne's own experiences and past relationships. The client explained that she was struggling with anxiety related to PTSD and hoped to receive practical coping tools and emotional support. Instead, she said she left the session feeling worse and became depressed after hearing comments that made her feel she was not a high-value woman. Because of that experience, she decided not to schedule another appointment. Another person shared a similar story, saying they paid $300 for a 1-hour session but felt they were simply told they had low vibrations. They claimed the conversation increased their anxiety and PTSD symptoms, forcing them to wait until they could see their licensed mental health therapist again. These accounts have added to the ongoing criticism surrounding Cheyenne Bryant's services and qualifications.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is committing wire fraud, in my opinion. Drop the doctor or provide proof, because what you're doing is wire fraud. and each instance is punishable by up to 20 years in federal prison. And an instance is not your website. It's not the one website and that's one count. Each time a person hires you because you induced them to, by calling yourself a doctor and a psychology expert when you are neither of those things, each time someone hired you is a count of wire fraud.
The criticism surrounding Cheyenne Bryant continues to grow, and many people believe she should directly address the concerns instead of avoiding them. Some critics argue that it is time for her supporters, especially Black women who have followed her work, to demand clear answers and greater accountability. They believe trust is important when someone offers advice on mental health and personal growth. One commentator said they watched Cheyenne Bryant's interview several times and came away feeling that many of her statements were confusing or inconsistent. In their opinion, she frequently contradicted herself and used complicated language without giving clear explanations. They also pointed out that she wore a necklace with the word "doc" on it, suggesting that this stood out because many people were already questioning whether she had earned the credentials she claimed. The same critic argued that Cheyenne seemed more focused on maintaining her public image than responding to questions about her education. They claimed that instead of providing documents such as a dissertation or proof of her academic qualifications, she continued posting content that shifted attention away from the controversy. As a result, the debate has continued online, with some people believing the criticism is justified while others still support her. The discussion remains divided, with many waiting to see whether she will eventually provide evidence that addresses the ongoing concerns.